So, where have I been? I've been busy. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get settled, get some coffee. Because I need some coffee. Let me tell you, if this game was an onion, I found the main part of the onion, like the meaty part of the onion, took a big old bite of it, and then it drugged me underground. 'Cause another layer, found another layer, did another unexpected layer, not a small one, not a small one at all. Also, I've been extremely busy these last few days. Last week or two, actually, I have been feverishly putting things together. I am hoping to have a booth at the New Age Festival that we have here every year, just across the street pretty much from me. Good morning. And I want to make sure I can see chat. Okay. So I've been getting things set up for this New Age Festival that we have every year. I'm trying to get a booth for the first time in order to sell things, or, well, really give them away in exchange for donations to my GoFundMe. And I have been making prayer beads, light up fairy necklaces. Hello. And I've been working on bottling up some staghorn sumac, which is a herb that is only found mostly here and I think in Morocco. And it is used in a lot of Mediterranean cooking. It's absolutely delicious. It tastes like lemony, citrusy goodness, but it's a beautiful bright red. And it's not as acidic, even though it has the same sort of it has the same sort of like disinfecting properties without the high acidity. Hello, FD. Aboyd. Welcome. So yeah, so I've been super busy putting things together, putting necklaces together, soldering, painting, beading, and polishing, deciding what mineral and gemstone samples I want to part with, and really considering what I want to charge for them, even though I know it's going to be like, thank you, about 99% off. But you know, yes, I do. I have a shop. I don't have everything listed on my shop yet because I'm still working on getting it together. But let me grab a couple things. I'll show you. So these are a few of the things that I've been working on lately. Hello from India. Nice to see you. I can't wait. This is all part for my fundraiser to go in December. So so I've got prayer beads that I have I've done all the blessings on, and I'm probably going to oil them one more time before I get them all ready to go. And then only one of them has the chain because I'm doing these from scratch. Everything is from scratch. I got diodes, I got battery packs, and I'm literally doing these all by hand. Um, and so they're little fairy bottle necklaces filled with dried flowers, or in some cases, there's like glitter or little gemstones. And these are going to have clips on them. The clips I've had a hard time getting to stay because I need to make sure that the area has enough texture to it to adhere. And is it hard to exist? Oh yes, I am Hindu. I am Shaktism, Shakti Shivite. Um, yeah. Existence is only hard if you are unwilling to meet the challenges. So this is one that I did the other day. This one I think you're gonna like, because this one, oh, come on. Oh no. Oh, there it goes. Okay. This one, it's kind of hard to see because it's daylight, but this has actually a UV reactive sort of like glitter paint on the inside. And the fairy light is a UV light, so it glows. But I have some that are in single color and some that are the color changing. And yeah, some have decals and little stickers, but they're all sort of sealed in there. And then they go, I have, I got some nice sterling chain and some of the little alligator clips, and I am putting them all together myself. So yeah, I think this one is just a solid color. Yeah, I don't think this one's UV. I think it's just the blue light, but it doesn't color change. So I've got single color, non-changing. I've got color changing. I've got UV. And yeah, so I've been working on those. And I also have bottles for my sumac. I've got, you know, the prayer beads. I've got my gemstones. I'm going to be selling my sapphires, a couple of rubies. I have at least 3 samples of native copper. And I also have some cuprite. No, I am actually coming through the rough part of my life. I'm going to India in December, I hope. I hope. Hey, Erin, nice to see you. Hi, Tay. Umar. Yeah, my rough part of my life is, hey, Brendan. I'm sorry. Yes, just, yes. My BFF. Oh gosh, it's just been, yeah, it's been crazy because I've been trying to get all this done. Oh, I'd love to go to Indonesia. See, here's the problem. I have a lot of rare conditions, and one of the most, the one that has been holding me back the most is I have something called Bulius thymogoid. Oh, Bali, that is my dream location. Oh, Pakistan. I have a lot of people. I used to work for a family from Pakistan, and I worked with them for so long. I still consider them my family. It's it's beautiful there, and I have so many places I hope to visit. Just absolutely all over the place. Bali is my dream, though. I mean, my my divine mother is Lalita, so I need to go to Bali at some point. Albania, wow. Oh, so I am from the US. I was born on the West Coast. I currently live on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. Well, not right on the coast, but close enough. Um, I love people from Pakistan, but no, I am whiter, Mayo and clear. But yeah, but I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Uttar Pradesh. I am hoping to spend about in the upcoming years about half my time in Uttar Pradesh. Um, I'm working on opening a school that will be free for anybody who needs it. The person I'm working with, assalamu alaikum, we believe that all children are deserving of an education, no matter what they have or don't have. And we're tired of seeing these children who are just absolutely full of life and some of the kindest and most warm and generous souls being told that they cannot go to school because they cannot pay. I'll allow that. Oh, okay. Um, I don't mind answering that question. I thank you. I don't assign passion to a gender. I believe that you can love a person's soul despite what their outward appearance is. So, let's see, there's another one. Okay. So, oh, I'm short. I'm 5'2". I don't know what that is in centimeters, but yeah. So we're opening a school, but the problem is with my Boleus vivagoid, I cannot be in temperatures over 24 or 75. And because of that, it really hinders when I can go to India until we get up the place established. There is a family home there that I will be living in. I'm actually going to be the, he says that I am the head of household there. So, but I'm working with a wonderful teacher in Uttar Pradesh, and we are adopting two beautiful children. They're 6 and 3 right now. They will be 6 and 4 when I get there. Yes, of course I do. Hello. I remember you. Don't be silly. Um, so I went through my rough patch. I went through a lot of recovery. I'm still going through recovery. That's going to be a lifelong process. Oh, I'm so sorry, Spider Girl. Yeah, I had mine removed when I was 12, and well, they didn't know everything that I had going on with me, and so I had extra complications during the surgery, and I got pretty bad, pretty sick for a while. But trust me, it's worth it. It is so worth it. You will stop having like all of those problems with your throat, and uh, if you are anything like me, it'll be a blessing no matter how much it hurts. But I know how much that hurts, so my heart is with you. Um, yeah, so I went through some very painful things, and going through them helped my body heal a little bit. Oh, Spider Girl, don't get me started. You don't want to know the list of things I can't eat anymore. Okay, yes. Life has taken some very good turns. And yeah, I have sapphires. I found out that I have soil as old as the earth itself, 570 to 400 million years old. And it is full of gemstones and minerals that are some of the rarest on the planet. Right now, there's a big push for people to try to get younger people into geology. Hi, Jessica. Because geology is kind of a dying science. It's filled with a lot of people who are getting old and retiring, and not a lot of people have been interested in how the earth works anymore, or what we have in our possession. Happy birthday. Yeah, okay. Wait, you don't tell me, is your name like the movie? If your name is the same as the movie, you are my new favorite person. Sorry, Brendan. Thank you. Yeah. I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and it's crazy deep. This is blowing my mind. Um yeah, so I've been trying to have a little fun with it, and I've got what else? Yeah, here we go. Get my lights. There we go. Um, so Amelie, happy birthday. Yeah, you better redact that. Aaron. You know I love you, dude. Happy birthday, Amelie. It's one of my favorite movies, by the way. It got me in trouble too once because, well, I, we were taking turns picking movies, and I was on a warning because I had accidentally picked a few too many cannibal movies. And so I was looking for one that wouldn't be a cannibal movie, because I was told one more cannibal movie and I would lose my movie picking privileges. You bet you do. And so I was flipping through and I was looking at the descriptions, and I saw Delicatessen. And I thought, better read the description. And I saw a black comedy by the makers of Amelie. And then I lost my movie picking privileges. I like foreign films. I apparently also like cannibal movies. So yeah, but I haven't been on very much because I've been dealing with a sinus infection. I have today was supposed to be my genetics test. Actually, it was supposed to be in May, but the doctor retired and I was pushed off to a different facility. And today was supposed to be my test. And then a week ago, they called me and said, yeah, if it's not cancer, we can't help you. Oh, okay, feel better, Spider Girl. Don't worry. Pizza's in your near future. Until then, just try to enjoy the ice cream for me, please, because I don't get that anymore. Oh, yeah, you too. Thank you, Exotic. So today was supposed to be my genetics test for Williams syndrome. I had to basically prove to my insurance company that I had it before they would allow me to get the test. And I proved I had it. I have symptoms that, I mean, these aren't just things like what you feel. These are things that are outwardly apparent. How your skin reacts, how your body moves, the pattern of your eye. So I have something called a starburst eye pattern, and it is most commonly found in people with blue eyes that have Williams syndrome. One of the other signs is hyperacusis, which I have. Basically, I can hear quiet noises like they are normal volume, like people whispering across the room. I can hear it. I can hear every word. voices tend to be loud. Loud sounds are painful, and extremely loud or suddenly loud sounds could permanently deafen me at any time. And so I'm very careful with my ears. In fact, I just ordered some new flares last night from Flare Audio. They are not sponsored in any way, but I had their quieter ones I got like 2 years ago, but I had difficulty using them because my ears are small. One of the things with Williams syndrome is you tend to have a smaller head, and part of that is because of how it can manifest. I have something called a missing PCOM. That means that the circulatory system in my brain, it's called the Circle of Willis. It looks like a little guy, like a little stick figure guy. And one part of the Circle of Willis, for me, it is the part that is right here, is missing. So part of my brain didn't have the same amount of blood flow to develop properly. And what that did was it caused this side of my face, to underdevelop. So I'm missing my right PCOM, and that made that portion grow slower, and it made this side of my face and all of its systems a little bit different. I got very lucky because I didn't have a lot of the dental problems, because oftentimes there's like crowding or gapping of the teeth, and I probably would have had some pretty severe crowding, but I sucked my thumb till I was 12 years old and I naturally widened my upper palate, and because of that I didn't develop a lot of the teeth problems. But I do have a partially deviated septum, which I did not know until I was 41 years old. It had never been addressed, and nobody knew because I had simply learned to adapt in order to not have it affect me. But I was going because I was concerned about my hearing, and occasionally I would get some pretty bad sinus problems. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't at risk of losing my hearing suddenly, which unfortunately I found out I am. It just means I have to take it more seriously. And so I do. But it also revealed that that this sinus right here is the size of like an infant's. And I have problems with this side with my vision sometimes, and this eye tends to get a little bit tired and goes a bit lazy sometimes. Or like this eye will close, but this one will only like half close. You want to color in my tattoo? Which one? Which one of the many? And I'd be happy to be your friend. So I get tinnitus, that ringing in your ears or the popping or things like that, but it changes. It's not all the time. Sometimes it's one ear, sometimes it's the other ear, sometimes it's both ears. Sometimes it doesn't last very long, and sometimes it lasts for hours. And that was one of my biggest, worries, because that can be a sign of something much more serious. If you ever have tinnitus that is unusual, please, please, please go see a doctor, because there are a few very dangerous things that could be. And it's not something to wait on. It could be a matter of life and death. So if you ever have intermittent tinnitus that is uneven or unpredictable, please go see a doctor. Because when I started to learn about what it could be, I was really scared. Oh yeah, I have like 7 tattoos, I think. I hide them. Yeah, I keep them in places where if I want to, I can hide them. Um, and So, but what all they found was that I had this missing portion of my circulatory system in my brain. It's what probably caused my hyperacusis. It probably is related to my auditory processing disorder. So I can't drown out background noise. I hear everything or I hear nothing. There is no such thing as white noise to me. It's all just sound. Um, So not only is everything louder, but it's all happening at the same time. I do have autism and ADHD, which are 2 more things. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos, which is also related to Williams syndrome. It's it's a long list of things that I have been struggling with my entire life that some people knew about and hid from me, and some people didn't even know it existed. And so when I sort of figured it all out and I took it to my doctor, all she could say is, yeah, that sounds like a plausible explanation. Um, but she couldn't order the test. And I fought for over a year with my insurance to get approved for this test, for them to finally schedule it for May, to schedule it for today, to cancel it because I don't have cancer. And they only did tests for cancer there. So now I'm being sent to another facility where apparently I'm just going to have a telehealth meeting and then go and get my blood drawn. And hopefully they'll be able to tell me if I have it or not, but it all makes sense. I think that I've found basically a group of people who have been missed with this condition because it was so closely in the past associated with autism and developmental delays. And a lot of people who have Williams syndrome have a lower IQ, but not everybody. It's by far and away not a universal thing. So for those of you who are familiar with Stranger Things, the person who plays Dusty, he has Williams syndrome. That's why his teeth were a little bit delayed. We are called, it's called happy syndrome because we are genuinely interested in other people. We always seem happy. We always are joyful people, even when we're not inwardly feeling joyful. A lot of people didn't know how much I was suffering as a child and as an adult because I seemed happy all the time. I was always interested in what was going on and what people were doing and what their lives were like. And to most people, that doesn't scream depressed and abused. But I was. And so it got missed. And it's associated with autism. But I was born in 81. And in 1981, girls didn't have autism. It was a boy condition. Yeah. So I actually was tested multiple times. I have been through the testing process for these sorts of disabilities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 times. 5 or 6. And I remember the one that sticks with me the most now, sticks out in my memory the most, is the reason I was tested so much is because when I was 8, I got chickenpox and I ended up with meningital encephalitis, or it was a combination of spinal meningitis and encephalitis. I guess they're pretty hard to tell the difference if it's one or both. So I got very, very sick. I was deaf, blind, mute, and paralyzed for about a month, but I was still in my body, aware and conscious. I was not in a coma. I was able to feel everything. And it was absolutely like being trapped in hell in your own body. And my vision would sort of come in and out, and I would see blurry shapes and colors, and my hearing would go in and out, and I'd hear muffled noises and mumbles, and but I couldn't talk, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't react or respond. And I had my second near-death experience out of 3, when I was during that process, right before I think my 9th birthday. And my whole family was told that I probably wouldn't make it. Well, if I was born in 1981, I am 43 years old. There were a lot of kids who asked when I went to school if I was the same person or if I was an adopted replacement. But when I was 12, when I was 12, I finally had regained most of my ability to walk and talk and all that stuff. But I didn't have a lot of memories anymore. My brain had kind of been wiped clean. I knew I had learned how to swim, but I didn't know why I was learning to swim again. I knew I could ride a horse, but I didn't know why I had to learn how to ride a horse again. I didn't know why sometimes my legs just wouldn't work. And part of it was because that condition, that time in my life is what triggered my narcolepsy 1. And with narcolepsy 1, that means I get cataplexy. Right? So strong emotions, positive or negative, I can suddenly go basically paralyzed. My body thinks that I am dreaming and I shouldn't be moving. So it basically stops me from moving. And I know that I can move. I know I'm capable, and it feels like if I just thought about it hard enough, I'd be able to move, but I can't. So sometimes my legs just wouldn't work. And my grandma told me recently that once I was staying there, and I was 12 years old, and here I was crawling across the floor. And my grandma said, "Do you need help with something, Bethy?" And I said, "No, I'm okay. I just have to go to the bathroom and my legs won't work." And I overcame that. It was hard, but I did it. And when I was tested at 14 to make sure that I didn't need to go into special classes in high school, I did the tests, and they said that I was one of those people who was going to just slip through the cracks. That I was a gifted disabled. That because my IQ was too high, and because I scored high in certain skills like reading comprehension and writing composition, my scores balanced out. I absolutely had spelling, penmanship, and math skills average for somebody in the 3rd grade at 14. But my reading comprehension, my writing composition, my memory skills, all of that was average for somebody at the highest levels. They said that's equivalent to somebody getting their doctorate. So my scores were average. And my IQ was 130. So I was ignored, and it made my life very difficult. And nobody told me any of the things that they knew that was going on with me. They hid it from me, sometimes at a level that was so malignant and absolutely harming. Thank you. And I didn't find out most of it until I was 40 years old. 40 is when my mom slipped up. 40 is the age I was when she finally misspoke. And things went ding. And then I didn't need to ask any more questions. The memories came flooding back. That was the hard point in my life. A week later was the new year. A week after that was the last words I ever spoke to her. And I didn't even speak them. She was upset with me because I had dared to give her advice that she ended up taking and not telling me, whatever. But she was upset that I had dared to give her advice for a problem that she came to me with, asking for advice. She just didn't like the advice that I had to give her. And so she wasn't speaking to me. She was texting, but her phone just couldn't call my number for some reason. And so I texted her exactly what I thought of her. And I cut off all contact. And then she tried to manipulate things and work things and use my family against me. I gave her enough rope to hang herself, and instead she took that rope and she tied up my entire family. And I lost everyone. Some I haven't lost permanently, but I can't. I can't have them right now. Because everyone who she knew was in contact with me became a target. Even if they didn't realize that they were becoming targets. And I didn't want anybody in her sights. So I lost everyone. Except for a few people. The family members that I found out about after I was 30 years old. Like my half-brother that I met right before my 31st birthday. It turns out my mother is a true evil. She is a malignant, Machiavellian, narcissistic, antisocial personality in the body of a vile woman. And in her attempts, many, many attempts to end my life, she broke me. Not mentally, but physically. And because of that, I struggle. But I have Williams syndrome. I have happy people syndrome. And I'm happy. because I have seen and understood that all of those challenges I faced, all of that difficulty, all of that pain, it helped me understand what it's like for people who have to suffer like that. How far down rock bottom goes. And that you can live your life at rock bottom. But sometimes somebody comes along and they smash you into that rock bottom. And it breaks that last straw. And that's when you have the decision to lay there and die or to fight back and climb yourself out. Because once you're broken that far down, one way or another, that hole's getting filled. You can either climb out or you can let them just toss that dirt on top of you. What I realized is that there was nothing I couldn't overcome. There was nothing so terrible that I couldn't still find joy in life. That despite every pain, every hardship, I learned how resilient we are and how even the most broken people are like kintsugi. We are more beautiful because we have been broken. Resilience is a gift. It's God's way of testing us to see if we're ready, if we're willing to fight, if we realize how precious our life is. And that it's always worth it to fight, to overcome. Those pains served a purpose. And it opened my eyes to people that have been so ignored for so long that they don't need anybody to keep them down. There's nobody that needs to go out and oppress them anymore. Because at this point, it's been going on for so long. It's all they know. It's all they've known for generations. They don't know what they deserve or are worthy of because their parents and their grandparents and their great-great-grandparents never had any of those things. So, yeah. I haven't been around much because I'm working on raising money for them. Polishing sapphires. And collecting mineral samples. Making beads and necklaces that light up. Little fairies. Putting sumac into bottles. Writing poetry. Drinking coffee. Cuddling my puppy. And dealing with one hell of a sinus infection that has kept me knocked out with combination of my narcolepsy. I'm playing a lot of Disney Dreamlight Valley. But I know now why I'm here. I know I'm here to show these wonderful people who don't know how wonderful and valuable they are, what they are deserving of, what they are, what their worth is. Every single one of them, everybody. We are so precious. A million sapphires couldn't replace a single one of us. Even the worst of us. Even my mother. Because all the horrible things that she did in my life brought me to this point. Showed me these truths. Helped me see the beauty in myself and in everyone else. And to look for the subtle things that most people don't look for. I discovered a Cambrian mine, potentially, of untold wealth because I looked. Not because I knew geology, but because I said, what is that? Curiosity. Curiosity is all we really need. Nothing we have in this life is really ours. It's all borrowed. Every single bit of it. Humanity really only has a couple of things. We have our curiosity. We have our knowledge. Knowledge is one of the best gifts that you can give because in most circumstances, it cannot be lost and it cannot be stolen. But really what we have as far as outside of ourselves is two things. We have our elders, who are all we have ever been. They are everything that we ever were. And we have our children, who are everything that we will ever be. They are our potential. So we need to care for our elders because they are all we ever had. And we need to protect and nurture our children because they are all we may become. I never had unconditional love growing up. Everything was conditional. The only thing I ever wanted in life was to be a mother. And that was taken from me. So when I found out that I would never be able to do that myself, I decided to mother the entire world. So I have unconditional love for everyone because we are all deserving of that. We all deserve to be loved unconditionally. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's where I've been. And If you ever need anything, if you need a friend, a hug, to chat, to vent, I'm here for you. I love you all unconditionally and always. Even you. Life is a blessing. Life is a dream. So go out and have good dreams. And I'll be here when you wake up. Still loving you unconditionally. Namaste.